One, two, three, go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sisters and brothers, uncles and aunties, everyone, left and right, up and down. Welcome to the Afro Journal. Oh, pew, 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 pew. My name is Peter Ikechukwu Chirozo Aliogo.
And my name is Chisom Jerry Okafor.
And we're about to give you an experience of a lifetime. We're about to sing beautiful songs into your ears. Awards will inspire you.
Oh, you want to make up from the singing from last week?
Go for it, so hit them with the vocal cords.
Check it. Yeah, they call me Chisom. Call me Chisom, taking everybody here.
Oh.
Hey, I've gone black.
Fire. Ladies and gentlemen, that was fire. Straight out fire. Fire in the
tell Diddy
oh my gosh.
Can't tell Diddy to help me make my album.
Oh my gosh. Kanye will even be inspired by you, bro. Kanye will steal your ideas, bro.
Oh man. Yo, this is what you call brilliance. What you call musical genius.
Yes.
I'm the epitome, as Americans would say, of musical genius.
All right, chill with that. Well, let's get back. Welcome everyone to the Afro Journal podcast, and we have a lot of things that we want to talk about today. But before we do that, like usual, Chisom is going to hit up with the explanation of the proverbs on the last episode.
Yes. So if you were here last week, I hope you listened to last week's episode. But if you were here with us, you know that the proverb was, "He who runs away from good fortune. He who runs after good fortune runs away from peace. He who runs after good fortune runs away from peace." And you know how last week we talked about our journey through college, how we wanted great, dope grades, we wanted to have fun, we wanted money, we wanted to lead. Bruh, that thing was stressful, man.
Exactly.
It was stressful. So we're definitely chasing good fortunes, but our peace was kind of out the window, you know. And like, what is his name? Is it Big that said this? More money, more problems.
Or, with more power comes much responsibility. Which equals more stress. So you can take it how you want it.
Exactly. So we're going to jump into this week's episode. What are we talking about this week, man?
What we're talking about today are various things basically that are going to be compromised. Compromise. That will encompass our junior and senior year. Okay?
Yep.
So I'm just going to talk about our first experiences and stuff like that.
Yeah, because last week we kind of stopped our junior year, so this week we're going to focus on senior year, but then we'll also tie it in with junior year again at graduation. So yeah, man, how do you want to kick this off? How did you come into junior year?
I came into junior year as a baller, as a sexy beat.
As a baller.
Oh
my God, baller. You know?
I was looking at Anthony Joshua, but 5'9", 11. 5'9", 11 English. I was 5'9", 5'9". Yo, man, I'm hyped. Chill, man. My English is just flowing. It's flowing like water right now. But I was feeling sexy because of during that summer before junior year, me and Chisom were working out. We're pumping some irons, bro. I was getting like 5 inches of muscles everywhere across my body. I was looking jacked, sexy. You know, ladies were just looking at me like, "Who is this golden child?"
That's what they were telling you.
They were telling me, like, chill. Okay, I'm just a regular human being, just like everyone else.
Just like everyone else.
Just appreciate the view.
I just have that.
Exactly, man. So I was going into junior year with full of confidence, having a sexy body, having the abs I was actually working for all my life. I gained those abs, those 6 packs, bro. I was feeling it. I was putting on my t-shirt, no body, just let it be. Just feel like 6 packs. Yeah.
Until the winter hits, there you have to cover up again.
Yeah, I mean that's how I was going into junior year, and I'm sure I've explained it. Our junior year, what happened during the junior year. But yeah, that's how I was going into junior year. How about you, Chisom?
I mean, I asked you how you went into senior year, not junior year. I don't know why you went all the way to junior year, because that was your sexy year.
Oh,
you wanted to explain your sexy year.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
My guy went to explain his sexy. I was looking good. My arms are on point on fleek.
Okay.
I had the guy senior year. He went on to it.
Senior year was actually really boring for me because all I was doing, I was just house hopping because of I was taking
Why,
summer classes.
why is you sexy?
I was okay. I'd lost my abs. Actually, I lost my abs. That's why I was not full of confidence, but I was still the guy, still chilling.
Yeah, you see that song. Yeah, you see that little song good. Little song.
Some things going for me. But
Yeah,
I've taken a lot of summer classes during that summer, and I did
yeah,
for living expenses on campus. So I was house hopping. So I lived with Chisom for a bit in his house, that his dreaded house, and
yeah. That house saved your life. So don't talk trash now. That house saved your life.
was living in, and I moved frequently to one of my best friends' house I met freshman year. One of my really close American friends, and I was living with him because he was on campus.
Yeah,
I mean, off campus as well. So that was how
yeah.
I was engineering. But obviously, I was the vice president of BSU coming to that year. We
Oh
had an
yeah,
MQP
bad guy.
set. Me and you hustle for that MQP. Hustle that
The
way.
MKP is our final year project, by the way.
Yeah. So our final year project, which is required from everyone, which is called the major qualifying project,
Yep.
was a project where you have to basically do your engineering thesis, all those kind of bullshit that engineers do. And me and Chisom were obviously in junior year we were scouting. It's like, bro, I don't want to be out
Yeah,
there working for a trash ass professor, a project I don't care about. And
yeah.
we met this beautiful, beautiful Nigerian man, highly inspirational Nigerian man.
Huh.
Tom,
Yeah. What I call top of the food chain type guy. Top of the food chain type guy. Like this guy was. No, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Let me just explain how I go into junior year real quick before we hype up this man so much.
yeah, bro.
but yeah, that summer. Yeah, that summer we didn't actually work out together that much that summer because I was working on campus
Yeah.
with the summer camp kids and all that. So you were living in the house, but I wasn't really living with you guys. And then we're kind of like you were taking classes as well, so our
Oh
schedules were
yeah,
kind of off.
yeah,
Yeah, so we didn't really work out that much. But me, I was working out, man, pumping iron. Who? That summer was my honestly my sexiest. That was the sexiest period I've ever been in my life to this day. Guess what? Because
yeah.
I had so much motivation to work out, man. Like, yeah, I remember I told you guys that I went through my breakup junior year. And for some reason, this thing was like the breakup happened in February. By May, this shit was still paining me, man. So, guy, you say I was pumping, it's almost like you're trying to take out the stress or the pain or the iron or the workout. It's kind of the workout became like let's say a motivating factor for me or something. I don't know, it made my life easier. Let me just put it that way.
The guy wanted to go to church looking different. He wanted to go to church looking different.
I will not agree or disagree. I will just leave that one. No comment for that one. No comment for that side. But the bottom line is I was looking at and I was eating good as well because the job I was working at was feeding us. So for the first time in my life, I was actually eating 3 square meals a day. Let me say my life, but like since college, since
Yeah.
college, I was eating 3 square solid meals a day. And you know me, guy, I'm a hard gainer. Like for me to gain weight is a huge like I need to eat a shit ton to put on
Exactly.
small weight. And if I stop eating even small, I lose it immediately. So that summer, man, I was constantly working on eating good. I was looking nice. So I was coming in with high hopes, high expectations. I was the president of BSU at the VP, which was dope. And then obviously the MQP. That was when we met our final year project professor in junior year.
Mhm.
And as if God just placed him there for us, honestly.
Exactly.
Because this guy is a Nigerian man that became the dean of engineering in WPI literally that year. I think it was Peter. I don't know how he met the guy, but Peter introduced me to the guy. And Peter was just like, yo, like this guy is working on a lot of cool stuff, like a lot of cool projects that we can get in on one of them. And since obviously he's a Nigerian man, we know we're going to vibe with the guy.
Yeah.
And then he's going to be working on things that we actually care about because he does a lot of work with Nigeria.
Mhm.
And yo, that was dope. That was dope.
Well,
That it was just perfect timing.
yeah. Well, let me explain how I figured out who this man is. Well, there was this professor that was coming into WPI. His name was Winston Wale Soboriejo.
Yes.
And sophomore year, there was a summer email that was sent out. And I was like, Soboriejo, that sounds like a Nigerian name. And I saw the guy's picture, looked like a proper Yoruba boy. So, Yoruba man.
Yeah.
Looked like a Yoruba man. I was like, oh, mommy, look at there's actually a Nigerian professor in our school. And my parents were like, you should go talk to him and discuss with him and let him be a mentor to you and stuff like that. I was like, when your parents are telling you that, like, oh
Yeah,
my
they
god,
tell you that. Just like, I bet mommy, feel that side.
yeah. But I was just hearing buzz about this news about this guy. I was like, what he does, he's like he focuses on what's it called, micro engineering. I forgot what's called, or micro science, like things that I'm blanking out right now for the right word of what he does. Well, very cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to meet this guy because of he's worked on cool projects. And yeah, I'm just going to have a sit down and talk with him because I wanted to gain experience, in the lab and put that on my resume as well. Plus. So I met him and he was just the nicest man ever. He is literally the nicest man ever. And he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing.
Very smart guy.
Very smart, intelligent man. He just break it down. I mean, he was a professor. He was a professor at Princeton University. An extremely smart man, very competent. And I was like, wow, okay. Like I was like, sir, and he told me that he was already working with some students on their MQP that year, my junior year, when I was with him. Like, okay, I would like to, work with him because I was a mechanical engineer and a civil engineering major, and I had to find a way to combine
both of them. Yeah.
So he now mentioned a project that he was working on called the sustainable Chisom sustainable and affordable housing.
Housing. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the project or the concept that he was going with, where we'll analyze. This is the science we talk. Where we'll analyze different materials that are prominent in Africa that could be used for structural integrity, and also we'll also construct a house in different ways using solar, wind, different options that are sustainable.
Definitely. And passive energy as well.
Yeah, and passive energy. So it's going to be cheap and affordable. But obviously, it's a concept and experiment that you have to go through to fine tune. And we're just the next progress in that step. And I was like, okay. I was like, yo, this is a cool project. And I know that Chisom could add something into this project. And because I know you were looking for MQP as well, and you were not really sure.
Yeah.
And I was like, this nigga, and it's going to be about, Africa, some African countries and Nigeria and stuff. I was like, and it's like, yo, man, Chisom, you would like this shit. Come join along. And yeah, that's when I asked Chisom. And Chisom met the guy. I was like, yo, this man is actually like,
the proper man. He was the dean of engineering. A Nigerian man was the dean of engineering at the time.
Yeah.
And just to give you guys some perspective of the greatness of Nigeria, by the time we were done with that FPP, this guy was the provost of the school.
Real quick.
I was like, real quick, man, real quick. So honestly, that was one of the biggest blessings that I would say we had. Just meeting him and working with him, and now it's like I feel like that really put a lot of my life in perspective as like the route I want to take in terms of the effect I want to have in Nigeria.
His whole process is definitely an inspiration. Extremely intelligent man, competent. He has no racial views about him or he got the job because he's black. None of those crap. He is the right man for the job, basically. And that gave us confidence that we can be leaders in this kind of, environment. Even though that was not exactly our goal, but we are so inspired that someone can actually pave the path for people like us, So we were definitely proud that he was a Nigerian man as well. It was just like, wow.
Yep. And if you fast forward to the end, we realized that like it was that project that actually gave us the jobs that we actually found.
Yeah.
And the experience we got from that project that gave us the jobs that we're working on today. Exactly. Which is crazy.
Exactly. I mean, I'm currently I work as a structural engineer. And Chisom, what are you?
I'm a project controls engineer.
Exactly. So I'm a civil engineer, and I didn't have a structural I'm a civil and mechanical engineer, but I didn't have a structural focus in it. The only reason why I was competent enough to come into this job, obviously because of the training that was added, as well as my belief in understanding what rules and regulations go into the housing, the construction of buildings and stuff, the construction industry. So I was really happy that I got that experience and I was able to transfer it into my real job. So I wasn't really scared about it. I wasn't scared about using Revit. I wasn't scared about using different programs to calculate, whatever I'm calculating at structures. I was very comfortable in that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and you got a lot of that experience from the project.
Yeah.
Which was dope, man. But yeah, if we go another direction, we know that senior year was definitely not all rosy because the way we're painting senior year now, like came in nice, got a nice project, did everything. Yo, senior year was honestly one of the. It wasn't as, should I say, bad as junior year in terms of like shit that was happening, but it was very stressful. It was very stressful because we were doing a lot as people. Both of us, between both of us, were doing a lot as people.
Yeah.
We were trying to find a job. Even though Trump was going to kick us out after graduation, we had to find a job. We were trying to keep our grades up.
Mm-hmm.
We were trying to obviously do our projects. We were trying to lead BSU.
Yeah.
We were trying to lead because I was president. My senior year I was president. You were VP. We were trying to lead BSU, and then we're trying to have fun at the same time. And it was just a lot that was going down, man. But I'll say, like, we can talk about BSU and like our experience as African people leading an organization like Black Students Union.
Yeah,
because the Black Students Union is different from the African Students Association.
Yeah.
In WPI, the dynamic was definitely different.
Yeah. I mean, I could talk about ASA. Just break that.
Yeah, you can talk about ASA and how we started, just to give people a perspective of.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to give you a perspective of what went down in school, because at ASA, we literally did not exist at the time. I entered WPI.
I am actually a founding member of the WPI's African Student Association.
Woo!
I'm a founding member.
Chill, keep your fireworks right here.
I've been very strong since I've left the school. I still keep track of that club and show my support. But I'm a founding member, and there was literally no concept of anybody that accounts for the African voices in WPI. So
it was pretty much BSU was pretty much serving both purposes.
Yeah, both
purposes. Right. It was serving as the African voice and the African American.
Yes.
At the same time.
Yes. But as you know, there's a huge cultural difference between being African American and being from Africa. So we wanted to have our own groups where we can openly discuss about African topics, about African people and African things, basically. And and I became the exterior coordinator or something like that during my first year.
You mean events coordinator?
Events coordinator.
You say exterior. You have your structural engineering. Like the exterior. What?
I don't remember what it was called, but that was. So I was the event coordinator during my first year of the organization.
This was junior year, right?
This was junior year, and we had our first Touch of Africa major event where we showcased, African culture to WPI in different ways.
Yeah.
We had the posters, we had the dance, we had the food, we had the
that event was dope, man.
Yeah, and I was the host.
And you were the MC, man.
I was the MC, bro. Nelson. Shout out to Nelson, bro. Nelson were balling on that.
Nah, man. Honestly, I didn't think Peter had that in him, to be honest. Like, I knew Peter was dope and all that, but there's sometimes when it comes to like public, like speaking up in public and like being on the spot, this guy can just be stupidly shy sometimes. I'm just like, guy, like, can you but this is that if it's like a debate, he'll be fine. Right, but when it comes to like hosting the whole show, it's just something I never saw Peter do it. I was like, what?
I'm too savage for the world. The world, when I say my shit, I feel like the world will just start crashing down on me.
I mean, that's what you did in BSU a lot, man. That's what you did in BSU a lot. We brought a lot of controversy to BSU. You brought that different perspectives. I was not just, it wasn't mainstream.
Yeah, so So yeah, I was the host of that event, and that was something I was definitely nervous about as a young bro. I'm about to talk to like a group of hundreds, like 100 people basically in
Yeah,
this room, and they're just going to have all their eyes on me. And Soboye Joe was there for a bit, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm about to do this in front of Soboye Joe, like people of like esteem, you know. And I was like,
yeah, 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 exactly.
I'm not about to mess it up. So I was practicing, obviously, building my confidence, trying to,
This guy literally reading jokes.
I wasn't reading jokes. That's a lie.
No, I'm not saying you were reading jokes on stage, but before that, you had your jokes pre-planned.
I have my jokes. And obviously, I have to think of stuff on the fly as well.
Yeah,
you
on the
know?
fly as well. Yeah, yeah.
What I tried to do, I just tried to bring my Nigerianness into that stage. I
Oh,
just
100%.
tried to like say, oh, basically Nigeria is the best country. Shout out to my Ethiopian people. I know you guys like to copy us. I like yo, I'm like, yo, guys, chill, man, chill. What are you talking about? You know, there's no beef, yeah, because there was never beef.
Yeah.
You know, all you guys
I
eat is
mean-
raw meat. You know, that's the kind of things on the stage.
Yo, I'm about to get some Habesha DM.
So those are
Oh my
how we did
God.
also as well as me, and I had a
Yeah.
stage joke. So that was
Yeah.
and I was so happy that it went well and went smoothly. And we had that
Really?
dance, that Nigerian dance.
Oh,
you
that
can
does, man.
Oh,
Honestly, by the way, if you if you try to send Peter a DM, just send him a DM at Afro_Jonah on Instagram. Just follow us on Instagram there and send it to him. Talk about how dope Ethiopia or other countries might actually be. But yo, that dance was honestly a shit show. Cause
yeah.
I mean, like everyone kind of knows me as I was the dancer in school, right? I was the dancer guy in school. Peter never danced. Chiba would dance when he had to dance. You get what I'm saying? Chiba is my brother.
I'm the dancer that hypes and happens. You know, I'll be dancing. I'm like, yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, the hype part is the
I will never
background.
dance in public like that, bro. Nah.
Yo, but just because the African Students Association was such a small club and we're trying to grow, so everyone had to do something.
Yeah.
So they were like, Peter, yeah, you're the host, but you still have to dance, my guy. So yo, we made this. We had to steal a choreo that we made in church. One of our performances in church, brother.
It's so bad.
We brought it to the ESA event. That thing was honestly.
Only practiced for a day, and that was the day before.
We literally practiced just once, and that was it. And we just went on stage. Peter was just doing his thing, doing whatever. I remember Eddie was like, yo, Peter. And then you're not like, F you. And I ran there.
Yeah.
You're like, right there on stage.
Yeah.
I was like, God. No, but that was fun, man. Because to this day, even though that was a shit show, that was one of my favorite memories in school. One of my favorite memories in school. I don't know. It was so bad that I just enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, talk about like the process you guys had to go through to even just start the club, because it wasn't just that you guys founded it very.
We had to get like over like 50 people to sign or something like that. And there's not like 50 African people in that school. You know?
Yeah. Like 50 people from
50
other
or something ridiculous.
I think 50 is small, man. Some ridiculous number. Because I know.
Like we had to ask like my friends. I had to ask like my other friend group, my international friend group. I had to ask like my Latin, my football friend groups too. You know, I had to ask them for signatures. It was just a ridiculous process just to find something that was, for African people basically. It was a real struggle, but the thing is, obviously, I was not the major person leading the charge because I wasn't the president or the VP. There was a VP that did all that, and the VP and the president that did all that. And they obviously I saw them, and it was hectic. There was a lot of things I had to go through, but at the end of the day, it worked, and we're happy about it that it exists to this day.
No, that was dope, man. I was really proud of you guys. Like, I wanted to join you guys just to do it, just to say I was the founding member. Like, yeah, I was way too busy with BSU. I was way too busy.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't kill myself, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's talk about being vice president and president of BSU. How did we change that organization our senior year?
All right,
because we had a lot of issues with the club in terms, not issues, but like we felt like it was almost becoming a very monotonous, or I don't know if I'm using the right word. There was a lot of
Singular
homogeneity,
points of
yeah,
views.
in terms of point of view.
Yeah.
So Peter, talk about one of your goals for that club, because you had big goals for that in that area coming in,
Yeah.
and the things we actually did.
Yeah. Yeah. So leading towards senior year, when I became the VP of BSU, I stopped being on the board on ASA,
Yeah,
and I became the VP of BSU. And what happened was one of the things that was really surprised, or not surprised, but I was very like, one of my big goals was to make sure that the atmosphere was okay for everyone to voice their opinion.
yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Not
And
just to have a dominant.
by everyone you mean everyone.
I mean everyone.
Yeah,
Like, no matter what your point of view is, you can share it there. Say it.
yeah.
Don't
Say
no matter
say
how,
that we'll dissect
no
it.
matter how not ignorant and stuff like that is, we'll teach you, we'll
Yeah.
learn, and we'll grow. And I felt that there was a lot of uh, dominant perspective that didn't give room for any other thing. A very singular point of view, which a lot of African Americans so far this day that they don't listen to any other aspect or points of views. It's very monotonous, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my goals was just to shake the whole thing and put a whole bunch of conservative
This
shit.
guy wanted to stir. You always say stir the pot. This guy wanted to destroy that pot. He didn't just want
I
to
was
stir
going
it.
to rock
He
it.
wanted to shake that whole thing, man.
I was going to rock it, and I was going to just, if even I was the only person, I was going to put my point of view out there. Just
Yeah,
put it out there. Let us. And the funny thing is that when I said stuff, they were not controversial. I wasn't talking about like mad controversial stuff. It was just
yeah,
things that we can have a logical debate on, and I would put it in the form of a question. I would say
yeah,
it as a fact, and
yeah,
the other people have a rebuttal and talk about what they want, and
yeah.
and it flowed perfectly because we never had these conversations. You know what I mean? Because we're always so
Yeah, it's kind
scared,
of like everyone just
always so
agree with each
nervous.
other. Like you just kind of stay away from all the
Yeah, and I'm
controversial
like,
side.
no. The beauty is
Yeah,
when you have the controversy. That's how you make
yeah,
breakthroughs. So
yeah. Exactly.
I was like, let's talk about this shit, man. Let's talk about this shit.
Yeah. And the good thing about that was that, like, even though like some people will get triggered, right? Some people got triggered and obviously very emotional during the arguments. I
Mm-hmm.
won't say arguments, during the debates. But it was also in a very like kind of like healthy way that like it wasn't toxic.
Yeah.
Like these conversations were actually had, and even if we never like even if we didn't come to an agreement, at least at least we had a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Yeah.
that was dope, man. That was one thing I would definitely commend you for. Like you kind of
Because
like pushed us to have tough conversations, which was
I
good.
mean, there was no cursing each other, there was no insulting each other, there were no fights,
Yeah,
nothing of that. Because we tried to make it an atmosphere of questions and answers. You know what I mean?
yeah,
On both sides.
yeah,
So, and I felt that these guys were just spinning some very ridiculous points of views that obviously I did not agree with. So I was like, let's blow this shit up, man.
yeah. Let's blow it up.
Let me put
Oh man.
my own spin to it. But that was one of
Oh
my
man.
major, obviously that wasn't my only goal, but that was one of my major, because we have general body meetings, and I felt that all
Yeah,
the general body meetings were just so pro leftist, and I was like,
yeah,
not everyone is pro leftist, not everyone has left. We
yeah.
have different points of
Facts,
views. I have left leaning
facts.
views and I have right leaning views, and I was like, yo, I'm going to shake this thing off. Let's just bombard this place with some right leaning.
Yeah, I mean we don't need to.
It was
Just because
not
we're black
it was
doesn't
not
mean
every
we
time,
all.
but it was just during my own
Yeah,
time
yeah, yeah,
of when I had when I had to, present and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. Facts. But I mean, let's just shift gear and talk about the biggest thing, at least socially, that we did senior year, and that was the BSC fashion show.
The biggest
Yeah,
event at the WPI.
the biggest event in WPI, man. The biggest event in WPI history. Yo, my goal for that year was to create this show that was honestly one for the ages. Like never forgotten in 50 years. People are still talking about this show.
And
You
I came
know,
up
and
with the
then
concept.
yeah, you keep saying that shit.
I
But
came up
like,
with the
fam, I
concept.
literally came up with. Am I in the mood to argue with you today?
I came up
Am I
with
in
the
the mood to argue with you today?
I came up
What
with the
says you came up with the timeline, I came up with the over. It's almost like I gave you an
concept.
idea, and you broke it down for me. That's pretty much what it was. But anyhow, no, we'll argue about that one later.
Okay.
Well, bottom line is, we wanted that show to be epic.
Yeah.
And for it to be epic, yeah, this was going to be our third ever show in WPI, third ever fashion show. So this is not something that has been happening for a very long time. So everything is still kind of unprecedented.
Mhm.
Right? What I wanted to do was move the show from the smaller auditorium that we had to a bigger one to allow for more people to be able to come in.
So,
Yeah, that was Wahala. To allow for more people to be able to come in, more black people. I wanted to create something for black people, like just a proper experience. And obviously with that comes money. Bro, I feel like that was the most stress I've had in my life. Just getting money for that
you
show.
were checking your email every day.
Every hour. Like I was doing things that I never thought I was going to do in my life. Like let me just talk about like the funding request, like just to get money for the show, right? So in order to get the show running, we needed about, let's say, 50,000. It was actually like 48,000 thereabout. $48,000. Right, and obviously in our budget I think we had like 10K. So we needed to raise, how much do we have? I think the show was gonna cost close to 60K. But then our budget we had like 12K ish, so we needed to request like 48,000 from the SGA, which is the Slim government, whatever. I forget what they call themselves.
Yeah.
Right. And this money is pretty much money that we pay from our student life fee. We had to request this money. And for me, I thought it was going to be granted. Like this show has been one program of the year last year, one diversity program of the year before. So I thought it was going to be a given. Like, you just go request the money, because they be approving some funny requests, man. And I'm just like, this is going to be easy. I even got other organizations like the Hispanic and Caribbean Students Association. I got NSB. I got other clubs involved in this, so that it won't be like, it's just.
Yeah, you got the ISC.
The ISC, the International Student Council as well. I got like 9 different clubs to come and do this funding request with me. Just one, creating that unity and creating that cohesiveness in the community. And then we went there, we did the whole thing. I gave the presentation. The presentation was dope, obviously, in my opinion. I thought it was dope. I thought I killed it. But at the end of the day, I requested my 48K, and these people rejected that shit. They rejected that. They said that they don't think that the show is big enough for that kind of.
Can you believe that?
I was like, what? Like, to me, I won't lie. Like, I wanted to play the race card immediately. Like, are you kidding me? I'm like, what? You want to be a race? Because to be fair, the SGA was full of. Was there any black person in that SGA?
I think it was like Bole. Bole was one.
Maybe like 2 black people.
Maybe 2 black people.
Maybe like 2 black people. It was mostly white. They had other races as well, other countries, other people from other countries, but it was mostly white people. So obviously it's very easy to think, what the hell, man? Like, these people are being sketch, man. But obviously, as the Nigerian man that I am, I'm like, okay, you know what? This is a setback. We'll come back, we'll recalibrate.
Yeah.
Right, I went back. I took out. I was like, to be fair, the 48K that I was requesting was because I wanted the show to be super huge. Like I wanted like pretty much everything I could get. I wanted.
Yeah.
I was like, what, it's fine. Let me take out some things that might not be necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like not necessarily not necessary, but we can do without. We can find another way to get the same results. Yeah, I cut this price down to 38,000. I removed 10K from this request. Went back the next week, a week later, to do the funding request. These guys denied this thing again. I was like, I was so blown. Because I was like, this should be an easy thing.
Yes.
I went back to present again. These guys denied it. They said that they don't think that the show covers the student body enough. They don't think that the student body is really interested in the show that much. So you can make it literally. You can make it smaller and do, and then I reduce the budget a lot more. It doesn't have to be that big a show.
Literally, the fashion show is literally the most diverse show in WPI. It has every race, every color, everything. Boys, girls,
white, black, whatever you are.
Black, Asian, Latino, everything. And we showcase all cultures, in fact.
All cultures.
All cultures
It's run
we
by the
showcase.
PSU, but then we still showcase a lot of
Asian
cultures that are not
culture,
even
we show Latino
exactly.
culture, we show European culture, we show obviously and Caribbean culture too.
Yeah.
So like for you to say that it
Yeah.
doesn't represent the student body enough,
I was
it's
just
just like
what? And then one thing they really wanted to hamper on was that, like, oh, the fact that like we're spending so much on the show, they don't think that to be fair for students from other schools to attend the show. And I was just like, first of all, there's not enough black people in WPI to fill up the hall. Second of all, this show, I'm making it for black people. Yes, it's for the WPI community as well. But you also want black people within and the community, the Worcester community, to be able to take part of this because we go to their shows as well. You know, you want all these people to be able to involve themselves in it. Oh, yeah, just cut the show down, make it smaller, everything. I was just like, bruh. And by the way, we're trying to get Malik Berry, remember? We're trying to get Malik Berry, and the deadline was coming up because we needed to get the money so we can make the contract for him to sign.
yeah.
So, yeah, I was just like, you know what? Screw these people, man. Like, in 2 weeks, guy, this is when I realized that my marketing skills might be something to behold, though. Because everyone just like looking at me like, because at that point, I honestly felt like a failure. I was just like, so how can you not be able to get money for your club? That should be, like, everyone thought it was going to be a given.
Yeah.
You know, everyone was just looking at me as a friend, like, yo, guy, what's happening with your show? Yeah, what's going on? Everyone's not giving you opinion. Okay, maybe you're trying to do too much,
Yeah.
like, reduce, relax. Yeah, in 2 weeks, I was able to raise 22,000
Bad guy.
from other departments.
Bad
I mean, let me not say
guy.
the team.
Yeah.
Let me not be like, I'm just taking all the glory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The team, you, everyone else. So it's like, bruh. Once I did that, I was just like, okay, you know what? And even though the deadline was coming, I was just like, you know, like, I just took a step out. I was just like, wow, these are the kind of things you can actually accomplish when
You're
you
back
really care
against
about
the wall.
something.
When you're back,
You know, exactly. It's kind of like I was just like, nah, man, I'm not going to fail this year because I was really motivated. I was like, I need to do this for our people.
yes.
I need to do it. So I raised the 22K. So obviously I didn't need that much money from the HGA anymore. I went in for a funding request of like 16K. They approved that. We got the money, everything. Everything was set. It was meant to be La Vida Loca from here on out.
Yeah.
Abi?
We thought.
Obviously, no. We thought. Yeah. Tell me why we raised the money. We sent Malik a contract, you know, the contract to review. He reviewed it. So was like, oh yeah, that's good. Looks good. Now we just need to finalize it and send it to him to sign. Right. So at this point, we're just like, oh nice. The guy was like, yes, he's coming. Like, dope. We had made flyers, everything. We're already ready. Hype. Every other part of the show was dope. You know, like because
The concept was dope.
the concept was so dope, man. The concept was so dope. And then, but obviously, we had to scale it down a bit because budgets were still kind of tight. Tell me why, like, a month to the show, or like, I think a month and a half to the show, we're planning on releasing Malik's flyer February.
Mm-hmm.
The show was meant to happen in March, like late March. Malik says that he can't come because he wanted us to pay him first before he came.
Oh, yeah, that was
And you know WPI would never allow that. Like, it's not like, because you can pay the artist and then he'll never show up.
Yeah.
Never.
Like
that would never happen. Bro, I was just blown. So obviously WPI was never going to allow that. I was just like, bro, like, we can't do this. We're trying to negotiate. The guys said no. I mean, technically it's not Malik, it's Malik's agent.
Yeah.
Why I feel, but to this day, what I actually feel happened was that Malik could not get visa. Because at that point, a lot of international artists were having issues getting visas to come to America.
Yeah.
I think that's actually what happened, and they were just looking for another excuse.
They're looking at it for a sharp to get money, then blame visa for it.
Exactly. So now we're trying to get other artists as well. Yeah. At this point, I was just blown, like, bro, like, what the hell? We're trying to find an alternative artist.
By the way, Malik was fresh during that time.
Malik was, man.
Like, the tickets would just have been, I mean, it was going to sell out, but the tickets would have been, sold on black markets. You feel me? That's how hype that show was. The fashion show, everything. And the funny thing that we got black, fashion artists to promote their wear.
Exactly.
WPI fashion artists
to
promote their wear too.
To promote their wear.
The whole concept was beautiful. And Malik was just
literally telling our stories. the performance was going to be the icing on top. We're telling stories of black stories from
Mm-hmm.
our history to present day, and then talking about students that are doing big things in school. That was just dope, dope concert, and then obviously you round it up with a huge performance from a dope artist. Long story short, Malik could not come. So, guy, tell me why I was so desperate to get another artist. Like I was literally scrapping everywhere. That that we reached out to Mr. Easy because he was on tour at that time. And Malik was going to cost us like 18,000 to bring him. And then Mr. Easy, because he was on tour, he was like, because Mr. Easy tour was hot too
Yeah.
at the time. Because he was on tour, he was like, okay, if you can give me 25K, I'll cancel one of my shows. I'll come to your school. I was like, yo. And I had 18K. At this point, I was already like maxed out of budget, everything.
Yeah.
So I had to raise 7K within the space of 2 weeks. Yeah, tell me why I was sitting in Miami because that was also like spring break
Yeah.
period. I was sitting in Miami calling restaurants, calling all these people to come out. I was trying to raise 7K in 2 weeks, man. But I was like, I think I was only able to raise like 3K. I couldn't raise the whole 7K, so that was honestly a bust. And that day honestly broke my heart so much.
Yeah.
But it was fine because the rest of the show was still going to be dope. So what we ended up doing was we just invested in a high quality host instead of going for the artist.
Yeah.
And we did that. And then, guy, the should I say the part? This was like the most pain, or almost the most pain I've ever experienced in my life,
Uh-huh.
was during the show when they locked the door and they didn't let people come in.
Yeah.
I was just like, bro. Okay, so this is pretty much what happened. We all know that when you're organizing a show for black people, I'm not trying to be stereotypical or anything, but you know that like your door cannot close when your show starts. If you say your show
Yeah.
starts at 7, you know most people are going to show up at like 8. You can't.
And you know the funny thing, some people that were really important came late and they were not allowed.
Yeah,
And we had
that
to
was
literally fight people
to let them in.
to let them in.
To
Now,
let
not
them
physically
in.
fight, but like we had to
Yeah,
like argue.
argue with campus police to
It
let
was
them
just
in.
the most retarded thing because of there was no noise caused by people walking in. You know what I mean? The
Then
noise was just loud enough that people walking in does not make a
yeah,
difference.
yeah. What they blamed was for security concerns, and I feel like just because they hadn't thrown a show to that magnitude in WPI before,
I mean,
they had a
they
lot of
have though.
base. I mean, like they've done big show, but big show is different from fashion show.
Yeah.
Big show is like a lot of people are standing, shit like that. It's not necessarily like. But to me, I still thought it was very insensitive of them because they didn't a lot of. So we did this show for a lot of people, and they were like, those close at 7, and I was like, those cannot close at 7. Like we can't do this. I remember arguing this so much,
Yeah.
but they were like, oh, if you can't accept this, we're going to let you have your show, blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, okay, it's fine. On the day of the show, on the day of the show, we'll figure it out. So on the day of the show, people were standing outside in the cold. They really didn't let them in. And I was out there arguing, begging, everything. Police said, no, sorry. They just needed, man, let me never talk about this so much because I'm about to start name dropping. About to start name dropping people. I'm like, yo, that thing pissed me off to my bones, man. To this day, man, I literally almost cried because of that thing, man. Because pretty much half of the people that was supposed to see the show ended up not seeing it.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. So after all that work, it just goes down the drain from there.
And the show
And
was lit too. That was the funny
the
thing.
show was not lit, so that's the thing. Like, cause honestly, I didn't enjoy the show during the show because I was just because
At the
all of
end,
us were running around.
all running around. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All of us were running around. But then once I like took a step back, I went back and rewatched the whole show. I was just like, wow, this show was actually sorry for swearing.
I mean, it's all
And it
on
was
YouTube. You can just Google WPI BSU fashion show
yeah,
2019. 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can.
But that was lit, man. But I mean, that was just my small. I was like, let me just get this off my chest, man, because that thing paid me. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about like one of our that's our highlights of senior year, which was the Miami trip. Miami was lit.
that was one of the major trips that we had during our senior year because
Yeah,
of we never went to any vacation basically, like any spring break trips, any Christmas trips, nothing like that throughout
we
our
didn't
whole
do none of
college.
that, man. Cause we were broke. And like during spring break, I always worked. I have to make money. I have to make money. So,
Yeah,
but senior year, it was going to be my last chance. Everything. I was just like, yo, we need to do this. We need to do this.
we need to
So
go.
we closed our eyes, booked booked a flight to Miami with a bunch of lit people, man. That group was honestly dope.
That group was the latest group.
That group was lit. Oh man, lit. And then when we got there, man, there was just good vibes all through. No drama, no nothing. Like I felt like even though I was kind of, because I mentioned that I was trying to raise money in Miami and all that, I was
Mhm.
thinking about all that. But then at the same time, I felt like I was just at peace with myself at that point.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
that was honestly a trip that I needed. Good vibes, the beaches, a lot of beautiful black people. Oh man,
A lot of beautiful black
a
women.
lot of beautiful black people, man. That
Oh,
was
Miami
that,
have some babes.
that was nice. That was honestly a breath of fresh air. And I honestly say, man, like, if you can take a trip, man. If you're at school, honestly, take a trip because it's
Take one. But take it with good people.
take it with good people.
You don't want
Don't take it with
you don't
you
want to
don't
take it with
want drama.
responsible people. Take it with responsible people. Like you guys can have you have fun. Enough fun, but you guys won't cross a line that can lead
Yeah,
to something
yeah,
catastrophic.
yeah, exactly. For real, Miami was one of the highlights, high points of senior year, and yeah, man. But at this point now, let's just talk about like leading up to graduation, because at this point we're about to graduate, so we're about to leave school. Everything is done.
Yeah, MQP was writing
MGB was MGB was
papers,
going well.
writing papers.
Yeah, writing papers, man. I hated that. And then it was he was still looking for a job.
Yeah, I was still looking for a job.
He was still looking for a job. Yeah, I actually found a job. Like even the way I found that job was so weird. Because you know that we had to, as international kids, we have to find jobs. If not, you're gonna get kicked out of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So the pressure was real, and till this day, like I literally do not remember applying to this company. I literally do not remember applying. I mean, I had to go back and I saw my application. I was just like, oh, I actually applied. But I was like, wow, like it was one of those very quick applications that you just send out quickly because you're just trying to move and like shoot out like 10 applications a day,
Yeah.
you know. And one day I just got this email, we'll like set up an interview with you, blah blah blah, this and that. So I was like, wait, I don't remember applying to these guys. So I had to go up and check check out who they were and everything. And then we did the whole interviewing thing. And then when they gave me my offer letter, honestly, it didn't hit me because I did the whole interview, everything came out. They were
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, we're going to offer you a job." I was just like, "Is this real?" Because sophomore year, junior year, we tried to get internships, always got rejection. So I was so
Yeah.
used to getting rejected. Sometimes you interview with someone that they just ghost you. I'm
Like,
like, damn, was that
I,
that bad?
I got ghosted a lot. That was something that was
Gosh,
frequent with me. I got ghosted a lot. I don't know if
like,
it was because I was bad at interviews, which I don't think I am, but I think it was just when they found out that like I was international.
yeah, that's
And
national
so,
cards. Like, oh, would you need sponsorship? And you say yes. You're like, oh, yeah, sorry, just ghost you.
adios.
So when this guy offered me the job in my head, I was just like, wow, like this is real. And then I tried to negotiate. They were just like, nah. To
Ah,
negotiate salary. I remember the HR person was just like, nope, no, we're not doing it. I was just like, okay, man, I'll take
that
it.
happened to me at my job too. That happened
I
to
was
me
like,
at my job
I'll take
too.
it. At that point, because I was like, I think they knew that. Obviously, it's always good to negotiate. I think you should always negotiate when someone
Yeah.
offers you something. Always at least try to. You know, negotiating is a
Mhm.
skill that you need to learn. But at the time, they said no. I just I mean, I don't really have much leverage here, so
I don't want to take the risk
is
and
that I don't really
lose
have
this
much leverage here.
opportunity.
So I'm gonna take the
Yeah.
offer, man. But that was honestly a breath of fresh air as well. And then we're now approaching graduation. At this point, you hadn't found a job yet.
Nope, I haven't
Damn.
found a job.
So how were you feeling at this point? Like
I
getting
mean,
closer to graduation?
I was feeling pressure, but because I knew other people who were international that hadn't gotten a job yet, like over
Yeah.
a year, I was like, I'll still keep on applying and probably I'll be able to get one, which happened at the end of the day. And happened at the one I really wanted because remember I'm a double major, so I was applying to like various different types of jobs. I was applying for, you know, mechanical engineering jobs, civil engineering jobs, structural engineering jobs, um, various jobs basically that but I count within those fields. So and I personally wanted to be a structural engineer, but I was like, if I couldn't get a structural engineering job, I could move into this field or any other field. So and I ended up getting the job I wanted, which was to become a structural engineer. So I was really happy about that. Thank God that was, I got other offers. I got to be a field engineer. I got to be a project engineer. I got to be which other ones? There were various other. I got some other structural engineering jobs. At the end of the day, like I got some offers,
Yeah.
but I already accepted what I had. So
Yep.
yeah, so it took a while. It took after graduation.
Yeah, because you
Basically.
found a job after never before.
Yeah, I found
So
a
leading
job
up to
after graduation.
graduation, I don't know, man. I was very scared for you, man. In my head, I was just like, damn, man. Like, I wanted this guy just to find a job. But obviously, I was like, I was going to show it because that's just going to be extra pressure for no reason.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But in my heart, I was just like, wow, like, I beg, oh God, maybe just find job, sharp, sharp, please, please. And I
Yeah.
remember feeling very like, I don't know, like during graduation, I was excited, but I wasn't very excited.
I was so indifferent.
Yeah,
I was so
like,
indifferent.
like for me, I was just like I'd always imagine the day as like one day that you're just extremely happy and everything
Yeah,
is
like
just
I'm
nice
finally
and dumb.
done. Oh my
Like I'm
god, like
done,
I'm
you're
an
hanging up your keep
adult.
everything.
Yeah,
To me, I was like, I was kind of feeling a bit anxious because I was going to move away. One,
yeah. And he
and
was
then also kind of
and he
like
was
just kind of
and he
like
was seeing
anxious
this
for.
and he was seeing this Ethiopian babe at that point. But I will say who.
This guy, you're a goat. You're a goat. First of all, I wasn't see like you make it sound like I was in a relationship or something.
He was in an entanglement.
I wasn't an entanglement. Don't I wasn't an entanglement.
Okay, okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes, I had feelings, right? There were feelings involved. But then it was all these situations where like you have feelings for each other, but you guys already know that it'll never work
This guy, you were
because
not
of how
prepared for
different
this.
you
You were not
are.
prepared for this. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Huh?
I say you were not prepared for
I
this.
was not prepared for this, man.
It's
Why
okay. It's
am
okay.
I
It's okay.
putting my business out there like that?
Move on. Move on. Move on. Well, let's continue.
Anyways, moving on. Moving on.
Yeah, still there. Yeah, still there.
It's kind of anxious
Graduation.
moving away.
Graduation.
Obviously, I was gonna miss my people, and then it's just kind of like anxious of the next stage in life. Like just like, like what's my life gonna be like now? Because you're so used to living in that college bubble. Now you're going into the real world. Everything's going to change, man, and it's so different. Like your friends are not going to be right next door to you anymore. You're going to a new place, you have to make new friends, everything. I was just like, I wasn't feeling very ecstatic about it, even though I was low key kind of excited too, because I was like, at least I'm living in Worcester. Like Worcester is a
Yeah.
dry ass place, man. It's a dry ass place. But anyways, well, you moved in with your grandmom at the
Yeah.
time, right?
So
Like right after graduation. I remember begging Peter because Peter had this habit of going ghost for periods of time. I was just like, bruh, I beg when we graduate, don't die, don't disappear. like, I keep in touch, man. I remember
yeah,
saying that specifically. I'm
yeah,
like, thank God the guy did disappear. He listened.
yeah. So during graduation, my mom came. Obviously, and my dad to celebrate my graduation and stuff like that. But I had to move in with my grandma because of she was suffering for cancer during that time,
Mhm.
and she needed someone over the summer to take care of her. It was me and my mom that moved in, and while I was figuring out my job process during that time, I was also taking care of my grandma who was suffering from stage 3 cancer. And
Yeah.
this was the most emotional time. Like 2019 was emotional, heavily emotional, because it was obviously the time I graduated, the time I moved with my mom, my grandmom, and the time I left her to be start my job. So there was a lot of development and growth that had to go into that because of taking care of a person that is so ill and seeing that person get better, then go back down, then get better, then go back down so many times. It takes your toll on you, and you're so invested in it because of you put so much effort in it. And sadly, my grandma is no longer with us. May
Yeah.
her soul rest in peace. Yeah, God bless her. A highly inspirational woman. She did a lot. A lot for my mom, and she did a lot for this family. She's a strong woman. And being a strong woman in Nigeria is not. It's not. It's not an easy thing to do. Society puts a lot of pressure on you, especially as a woman, to be in a. They try to put you in a box, and she was a highly successful nurse. Did a lot of great things for herself and was highly inspirational. And she she lived a good life. She showed her grandchildren, thank God, you know,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of them, and you know, she stayed strong through that whole process. And it
So you
was
were pretty
hard.
much
It was hard
damn.
leaving that woman. It was hard leaving that woman
Yeah.
when I had to go to my job. It was very hard. I was very scared, and obviously it has passed. We've had our burial, but God bless her. I thank God for giving me that
Amen.
experience. I don't want to start crying on this podcast, but I love that woman so much. And
Yeah.
it was just very difficult to just see her pass away.
Yeah. These are like the people that leave a huge footprint in our lives,
Hmm.
Obviously we'll never forget. And we appreciate like everything they did for us. Because without them, you'll not be where you are today. That's a
Exactly.
fact. That's a fact. And you were taking care of her and then looking for a job at the same time.
Hmm.
And then I remember when you told me that you finally found that job, I was just like, wow, thank God though. And then when you had
Bro,
to move, obviously
yeah.
it wasn't going to be like easy anymore for your mom to take care of your grandmom alone.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was something I was always scared of, because I was kind of the person with the strength
Yeah,
to do the physical labor there. So I mean, the good thing is that when I left, she was in a good condition.
yeah,
She was able to do some things by herself, but obviously it went downhill from there. But
yeah.
it's okay. It's okay. We live and we learn.
God bless, man. God bless.
God bless her. But that was my thing. So I learned a lot during my senior year. Yeah, I learned a lot. I learned
Yeah.
perseverance. I learned strength. I learned determination. I learned how to understand how to take care of your stress. That was a
That
huge
was
thing.
actually a big thing. You had to joke with that because we were doing so much.
Hmm.
Like we felt overwhelmed a lot of the time. So we had to find that balance in terms of like, okay, today I just need to calm down, slow it down, and just chill. And we didn't get that luxury a lot of the times, but we had to do it. We had to find
Yeah.
the balance,
Hmm.
And then at that point, I had already figured out academics. Like
Yeah.
academic, we had already figured it out. So I'd say one advice for college kids: figure out your academic vibe as quickly as
As
possible.
quickly as possible, man.
As quickly
As
as
quickly.
possible.
Trust me, you benefit from it.
Because once you do, it's not going to be that hard for you to. It's still going to be stressful, but it's not going to be crazy hard for you to get your
You have a
good grades.
template. You have a template for
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. Definitely figure that out quickly. One other thing I would say, especially if you're an international kids, please get an internship.
Yeah.
Get an internship while you're in school. Lesson learned, because that's one of the major reasons why a lot of jobs I was interviewing for may have liked me, but they're just like, oh, your experience is just not. Now, we like your personality, we like how smart you are, we like your technical knowledge, but your experience is just not there.
Hmm.
We're looking for people with a bit more experience. And I'm just like, first of all, I'm just a graduate. So how much experience do you expect me to have? But I never had any internships. I never had anything.
Yeah.
So it was kind of bad on my part. Obviously, I had a lot of side projects, which kind of helped me.
That's what I mean. I tried to hustle my way to writing an internship. because of I went to the civil department at WPI and was able to get an internship there.
Yeah.
But it was obviously at WPI, so it wasn't really that much of a big deal.
Yeah. Oh man, for me, I was like, the internship upon my resume was this. I won't call it internship. This job experience that that I did in Nigeria, man, for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Oh man, this job experience. But I mean, honestly, it was a good learning experience. But I'll call that a whole internship. But I put it
yeah,
on my resume as an internship because I was like,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
because
So
I learned a lot from the job too. It was actually a manufacturing job, so I learned a lot from it. But it was only for 2 weeks. But the experience was still tangible. So that was like the main thing that was holding me. That was like the resume that would get me the interview. But then when you explain it to them, and you're just like, then they're like, oh, do you have any more recent experience? I'm just like, nah. I'm just like, okay. All right.
I
But then I'm
mean,
trying to explain my personal projects to them and all that. At that point, they've already kind of checked out. Like, they were like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
short top. Sorry.
yeah. I mean, I was always stupid. I think my resume was fire. I just think that a lot of barriers were put in place just because of me being international. So I'll just keep it that way. But we live and we learn, and we have our personal struggles. And you just have to keep on going. Never give up. That's one thing. Never give up.
Never give up,
Never
man.
give up.
Never give up.
Keep on
For
fighting.
real.
Keep on fighting. Because of you lose only when you stop trying. That's just the truth.
Yep. Facts.
All right, so thank you everyone for this beautiful podcast today. We had fun. We had a little bit of the roller coaster up and down.
Yeah, this was a roller coaster. We went up from hype to
Yeah.
emotional stuff, and then you're putting my business out there, guy. Guy, honestly,
I
man.
mean, no one knows who we're talking about.
Oh,
So okay.
does
I
that mean
mean,
I talk about it? CBC Wala.
it's
No,
okay.
does that mean I won't talk? See, yeah, now I'm out here trying to
Yeah,
formally explain myself.
chill.
Anyhow, Sha, thank you guys for joining us in this week's episode. What are we talking about next week, Peter?
We are going to talk about a very serious topic that, since we're in the 2020 election year, a whole bunch of stuff has been happening. So we're going to be talking about the BLM movement from the perspective of the Afro.
Yeah, facts. And with that, I'm going to leave you with this week's proverb. And it means, and it says, if you close your eyes to the facts, you will learn through accidents. If you close your eyes to the facts, you will learn through accidents. Come through next week for the interpretation.
It's been your boy, Peter Ikochukwu Aliogo Jr., Chef Pirero.
And it's your boy, Chisom, AJK, Jeremiah Okafor. And we out. Peace, guys.